Namaste everybody. This is me Bisnu Chandra Gautam. I am secondary level social studies teacher. I have been teaching social studies since 2065 years. Today we are going to study about constitution. This constitution lesson from unit 5. Let's understand from this unit. We need to understand not from this lesson but from this unit. You will be asked 11 marks question in any sort of examination. Okay, one long question and one short question will be asked from this unit. Okay, very short question will not be asked from this unit. That short question will be asked in question number 12 and long question will be asked in question number 18. It is fixed, it is sure. Okay, once again, that short question will be asked in question number 12 and long question will be asked in question number 18. Short question means 4 marks question and long question means 7 marks question. Okay, let's read about this. Constitution. In Nepali it is called Samvidhan. What is constitution? We need to understand. Constitution means supreme law of nation. Simply we can understand constitution means supreme law of nation, but it is more than that. We can define it properly. Constitution means supreme law of nation that determines function, formation and power of legislative, executive and judiciary. It is that law which defines the relationship between ruler and ruled one. Constitution, important law of nation, it is also called law of the law. Constitution is very important to make proper rule and regulation in the country. What is constitution? We need to understand. Its definition, its meaning, at first we need to be clear. Once again I am telling to you, a constitution is the supreme law of nation that determines function, formation and power of legislative, executive and judiciary. What is legislative, executive and judiciary? We have already read in previous class. Okay, these are 3 organs of democratic state. Now let's understand necessity and importance. Why constitution is necessary? What is the importance of constitution? Constitution, first importance, it guarantees right and freedom of people. Okay, constitution promotes democratic values and norms. Constitution promotes justice and human right in the country. Constitution helps to maintain peace and order in the country. These are some importance and necessity. Again, let's understand what are the necessities and importance of constitution. First one is to guarantee the right and freedom of people. It means to secure the right and freedom of people. Okay, when constitution guarantees, then after people can enjoy their right and freedom. It is first and foremost importance of constitution. There are other importance also. Constitution promotes democratic values and norms. If proper constitution is made, then it develops democratic culture in the country. Okay, constitution is needed. Constitution is needed to promote justice and human right in the country. Not only that, constitution helps to maintain peace and order in the country. Okay, these are necessities and importance. Now, very important topic related to this lesson, things to consider while drafting constitution. What things need to be considered while making constitution? Okay, there are various things that we need to consider while drafting constitution. First of all, we need to consider, we need to think about people's will and aspiration. No constitution can be drafted going beyond the will and aspiration of constitution. Okay, first thing that we need to consider while making constitution is that people's will and aspiration. Then that geographical condition of the country, okay, geographical condition of the country, that also we need to consider. Okay, historical condition of the country, cultural condition of the country, economic condition of the country, all these idea we need to consider. Again, let's understand, let's be clear, okay, this idea is very, very important. This idea has been discussed many times and it is also very, very important from examination point of view. What are things we need to consider while making constitution, while drafting constitution? We need to consider many things, but main thing is we need to consider people's will and aspiration. It means what people want in the country, what is the demand of people, what is the need of people. At first we need to consider. Then after, historical condition of the country, cultural condition of the country, yeah. Again, let's understand geographical condition of the country. These all idea, okay, we need to consider on the population of the country. We need to consider economic condition of the country. Okay, considering all these facts, it will be better to draft constitution. If constitution is drafted without considering these things, then constitution cannot be long lasting. For example, constitution is drafted by considering will and aspiration of people. But if that cultural condition, religious condition of the country is not considered, if economic condition of the country is not considered, then that also can disturb in the proper implementation of constitution. So this fact we need to consider, these things we need to consider. Again, let's understand constitution is a fundamental law of nation. Now, fundamental law means main law, okay, supreme law. Or let's understand in another way why constitution is called fundamental law of nation. It means why constitution is called supreme law, why constitution is called main law of nation. It's very important. Yeah, constitution is called supreme law of nation. We have known, we have read. Okay, dear student, you have read about constitution from class 6. You have read constitution is supreme law. Then why it is supreme law? Constitution is called supreme law of nation because all other law, act, regulations of the country are subordinate to it. It means that all other law, act, rules and regulation of the country are under constitution. No other law, act, rules can be formed going against the provision of constitution. Okay, government in the country works as per the constitution. Constitution defines the relationship between the people and government. In this sense, okay, in this sense, it is called as fundamental law of nation. Again, let's understand why it is called fundamental law. Why constitution is called supreme law of nation. Constitution is called supreme law of nation because all other law, act, rules and regulation of the country are subordinate to it. Okay, no law, act and rules and regulation can be formed against the provision of constitution. Okay, government of the country forms as per the constitution. Government of the country works as per the constitution. Constitution defines relationship between government and people. Okay. Due to all these reasons, it is called fundamental law of nation. It is regarded as fundamental law of nation. Now, Constitution and people's will and aspiration. Already I told you that people's will and aspiration is the first and foremost thing while drafting constitution. Okay, why people's will and aspiration should be reflected in constitution. Why constitution should be made is per the need and demand of people. What happens if constitution is not made as per the will and aspiration of people? We need to draft constitution as per the will and aspiration of people. We need to draft constitution as per the will and aspiration of people in order to make it long lasting, effective and durable in the country. Once again, if we have made constitution as per the will and aspiration, then the constitution will be long lasting, constitution will be effective, that can help to promote human right and justice in the country, that helps to maintain proper peace and order in the country. Okay, let's understand in our country that constitution for the first time was made in 2004 BS. During the time of Rana rule, Padma Shamsher drafted it. Constitution was drafted in 2007 BS, then after in 2015 BS. Why constitution is changed again and again? Why constitution are being drafted again and again? Let's understand in USA that constitution was made 200 years ago. Yeah, again they are using same constitution. Okay, again let's understand in India constitution was made some 50 years ago. Again same constitution they are using, but in our country constitution is changing frequently. Why that? Because in our constitution, in our country constitutions were not made as per the will and aspiration of people. Okay, if constitution is not made as per the will and aspiration of people, then it cannot maintain peace and order in the country. It cannot guarantee right and freedom of people. If constitution is not made as per the will and aspiration of people, that cannot help to make effective rule and regulation in the country. In order to make constitution effective, in order to make proper rules and regulation in the country, in order to guarantee proper freedom and right to people, we need to draft constitution as per the will and aspiration of people. Now let's understand type of constitution. There are various type of constitution, but as per our lesson, as per the curriculum that made by CDC, there are two type of constitution: written constitution and unwritten constitution. Those constitutions which are available in written form are written constitution. Those constitutions which are available in unwritten form, or those constitutions which are available in oral form, are unwritten constitution. The Constitution of United Kingdom is only the unwritten constitution of the world. Okay, except that United Kingdom, all other countries of the world have written constitution. That Constitution of USA that was drafted in 1787 AD is known as the first constitution of the world. Okay, our country also has a written constitution. Okay, India also has a written constitution. Like this, many countries of the world have written constitution, but United Kingdom has unwritten constitution. It has unwritten constitution, that means it rules in the country as per the traditional norms, values and rules. Traditional norms, values are followed here. Traditional norms are followed here. Traditional rules and regulations are followed here. Written constitution is not available in United Kingdom. United Kingdom does not have a written constitution. Now, ideal constitution. Ideal constitution. What is ideal constitution? We need to read. Ideal constitution, that means good constitution simply, but ideal constitution means that constitutions which reflect people's will and aspiration, that has the feature of separation of power, flexibility, changeability, broad-based, okay, that this sort of constitution is ideal constitution. Ideal constitution, in examination you can be asked, what is ideal constitution? Listen to me and try to understand, please, that ideal constitution, simply we can say good constitution, but it is more than that. Okay, the constitution having the features of flexibility, having the features of clarity, separation of power, independent judiciary. Now, let's discuss features of ideal constitution. Clarity, first one, clarity. Okay, clarity means there will be article, sub-article, yeah, schedules in the constitution. These articles, sub-articles, schedules should be clear. Okay, they must not be giving double meaning. Okay, provision should be clear. That provision should be clear. Articles should be clear. Sub-articles should be clear. Schedule of the constitution should be clear. They must not give any confusing meaning. They must not give any double meaning. Okay, if provision of constitution give double meaning, then that creates problem, that can create conflict in the country. Okay, in order to guarantee right and freedom of people, in order to fulfill the objective of constitution, in order to fulfill the objective of constitution, articles, sub-articles and schedule of constitution should be clear. Separation of power. Separation of power, very famous and popular principle of politics in the world. It means that in constitution, power should be divided into legislative, executive and judiciary. Legislative does different function, executive does different function and judiciary does different function. This idea should be mentioned clearly in constitution. If this idea of legislative, executive and judiciary is not mentioned clearly, then that cannot be ideal constitution. Okay, separation of power means that power of the country should be separated into legislative, executive and judiciary. This idea should be mentioned clearly in constitution. Then after only constitution will be ideal constitution, constitution will be good constitution. Another is broad-based. It is also called universality. Let's understand all the major idea, all the major things should be mentioned in constitution. It means not that constitution should be lengthy. It means not that each and everything should be mentioned in constitution. It means not that each and everything, okay, small things also, that less important things also should be mentioned in constitution. Not that. That major things, main things of the country, main things that related to rules and regulation of the country should be mentioned in constitution. For example, constitution is made, all the process is fulfilled. If constitution has forgotten to tell about judiciary, if constitution has forgotten to tell about constitutional organ, then that will not be ideal constitution. All the major idea, main things, okay, which need to be included. But it means not that constitution, okay, it means we need to understand constitution must not be lengthy. Okay, very long constitution also not good. too short constitution also not good. Major idea must be included. Flexibility means changeability. Constitution should be changeable. Constitution should be changeable, easily changeable. Let's understand, need and demand of people are not same all the time. Need and demand of people keeps on changing as per the change in need and demand of people. As per the change in need and demand of people, provision of the constitution should be changed. For example, that map of Nepal little bit changed by the amendment of constitution, by the second amendment of present constitution, because that now condition has been changed. Yeah, we have known that in order to fulfill this in order to address this constitution, in order to address this situation, constitution is amended. Okay, it should be amendable. That is flexibility. Independent judiciary. Independent judiciary, that judiciary which is free from outer interference. There should not be any interference from other side in judiciary. Judiciary should be free in order to give right justice to people, proper justice to people. If judiciary is not free, then democracy cannot be promoted, democratic values and norms cannot be promoted. Judiciary should be free enough. Judiciary should be free and fair. Okay, idea related to it must be mentioned in constitution. Then after, constitution will be ideal constitution. Fundamental right. Okay, constitution must mention about fundamental right. Constitution must mention, must state fundamental right. Constitution is made in order to guarantee the right and freedom of people. Okay, if fundamental rights are not guaranteed, then there is no value, there is no importance of constitution. So there must be mention about fundamental right in each and every constitution. Okay, I think you have understood this lesson. This lesson is important lesson, not only for this class, for our whole life, because it is related with our life. If right now not related, in future it will be related. Okay, we need to know, we need to understand. It's important lesson. Okay, that's why we have started from unit 5. In examination, more marks questions are asked from this unit. Okay, this unit we need to read many times. We need to give more focus in this unit. This is very, very important. Okay, today we have read what is constitution, its importance. Okay, things to consider while drafting constitution. Constitution is a fundamental law of nation. Constitution and people's will and aspiration. Here we have read that why people's will and aspiration should be reflected in the constitution. Okay, about type of constitution we have read. Which one is the first constitution of the world? Which country has unwritten constitution? We have read that. We have known that. We need to remember that fact. Okay, and what is ideal constitution? What are its features? We have read. We need to be able to explain each features of ideal constitutions. Okay, thank you. This was part 2.